Uh-oh. Hold on. Sorry, let me see if I can fix why that's not coming through. Okay. I think I got it. Well, alright then. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Tales of Vesperia. Um, with chaos counseling. For those who don't remember, last time, I think it was last time, I got to the point where I just ranted for several minutes, 13 minutes, about how much I hate Yuri and just how much this game's story and writing does not support itself as the game goes on. Well, guess what? Today is the day where we get to the part of the game that caused me to put it down and not touch it for several weeks, if not several months. So, and I think I mentioned, this is the worst part of the game. Let's just get through it. Now, admittedly, the HD version does mitigate many of the problems simply by having Flynn in the party. What I mean by that is that Flynn is basically a backup healer. Yes, his main purpose is combat, but he knows things like healing, he knows things like first aid. I don't think he knows healing wind yet, but still, first aid is a lot. Because normally...
You never did give me an explanation. What were you thinking about when you sealed off Nordopolica and the Wiesen that caught us?
I was following Alexei's orders.
And was using trained monsters his order too?
Likely so. But being unaware of the nature of my subordinates was my error. I'm not fit for command.
At least you understand your mistake.
Yeah, well, that makes him better than you, douchebag. Yes, blindly following orders is a problem. I'm not going to pretend that. Like, that is Flynn's mistake, and he does deserve to be called out for it, but no self-awareness, prick. Shit. But, so, one of the reason why this was the worst part of the game is, so, we are missing Raven and, Estelle. So our primary healer and one of our backup healers, sort of. The problem is Raven's healing I think is a little more effective than Carol's, but both of their healing does kind of suck. Meaning you have to go through this part of the game without, at least in the original, without any major healer. And that does fucking suck, in my opinion. Wait, did I give Yuri sunglasses? Why did I give Yuri sunglasses? Those look stupid. I'm taking those off.
That's over.
Yeah, those are coming off. What was I thinking? But again, simply by having Flynn in the party does mitigate one of the main frustrations of this game. It doesn't completely nullify it though, since he doesn't have any status healing abilities. Okay.
I understand that. His actions cannot be forgiven. But
no buts about it. This is no time for doubt. You can see Alexei clearly now, Flynn.
Okay, this is a good pep talk. Like, to be perfectly frank, while following orders is not, and probably never should be, considered a good defense, there is a reason why a lot of people do stupid, maybe not outright atrocious things, but do kind of stupid things under the whole I was just following orders. Again, not because it's an actual good defense or anything like that, but we often find ourselves in a situation where, yeah, we do genuinely have faith in somebody enough that you believe that this will all pan out for the greater good at some point. Now, fortunately for most of us, we're not going to be in a situation like this, like Flynn is, or like the douchebags in America right now, or Nazi Germany or anything like that. But, it is important to remember that that was the thing that the Nazis in Germany tried to claim, as they were just following orders, which is a bullshit excuse. And B, I mean, hell, especially over this last decade, I imagine there's a lot of us who, like, implicitly trusted like an online content creator as like, no, they're a valid source, or I can trust them. They're just trying to keep everyone informed or whatnot. Only for, you know, for them to be exposed as either liars or profiteers or whatever. So I think Flynn having such complete faith in Alexei to the point where he did get duped is somewhat understandable. And to be fair, he does, once Alexei gets properly exposed, he doesn't double down or anything like that. He realizes, oh shit, I fucked up. And I need to fix that. Now, is it a little too late? Yes, but that's part of his character arc. And he learns from it, unlike Yuri, who doesn't learn from his mistakes because he's never properly called out for it. And again, that bit we get with Carol punishment, just, it doesn't cut it. I'm sorry. Like I said, do I think Flynn is flawless? No. Do I think... Actually, you know what? You... Take it back. I changed my mind. I do want you using items since you are effectively our healer. You know what? I should probably bring Carol into the party instead of Judith, just so we have two people who can kind of heal. So, I want to be clear, I am not defending Flynn, not truly. He deserves to be called out for it. He deserves to make up, he needs to make up for what he did. I am not disputing any of this. But it's so disproportionate how much crap that's piled on him and how much is just hand-waved for Yuri.
She chose to travel with us.
I guess you're right.
I'll take the heat for this.
That's not what I meant. I'm in no position to blame you.
And your position is just fine.
Maybe so.
Okay, at least Yuri's not being a dick in this conversation.
Harder to breathe here than on the sea floor.
No. There's something going on between Yuri and Flynn.
It's because they're in love. I don't know. I mean, unlike, you know, Rita and Estelle, I don't think these two have chemistry. Like, to be perfectly frank, these guys... I have to agree with, shoot, what's her name? Flynn's lieutenant, or second in command. These two shouldn't be friends. They are not healthy for each other.
The last room looked like this too.
All these rooms look the same. I wonder if they're all like this.
I'm gonna go check out what's ahead.
Repeat.
I've heard that this kind of construction is intended to humble visitors, so this must be the approach to the shrine.
We don't really have time to be dawdling.
It's okay. Relax.
We're not dawdling, we're scouting and figuring things out.
As we thought, the rooms all look the same from here on out. Repeat's sense of smell doesn't seem to be working too well either.
I see. We can't afford to get lost in here.
Here, use these. Let's
That's
make a map as we go.
You're always so well prepared.
Carol, can you do this?
Yeah, I'm good with maps. Leave it to me.
We'll be in a lot of trouble if you mess up, you know.
Don't say that. Come on, everything will be fine. Probably.
I love you, Carol. Again, you are the best character in the game. Yeah, hold on. I'm also going to take that visor off Flynn. Unlike the glasses, I do actually think it looks good. It covers too much of his face during conversation, so I want to be able to see him emoting, you know? Now, I don't remember, just because I don't remember how far me and Abby got after I mean, yes, we got pretty far, but I don't remember it. Okay, so, sorry, backing up. Flynn was not a permanent party member in the original release of the game on the Xbox 360. So for that reason, I don't and neither was Patty. Patty was invented for the PlayStation 3 version of the game. So for that reason, I don't remember when Flynn joins the party permanently in this version of the game, since I've only played this version of the game with Abby, and we never beat it because she eventually got fed up and just said she was done with this game as well. So I don't think Flynn permanently joins the party here, but I could be remembering wrong, so please don't quote me on that. Now, if I remember correctly, I think these are that thing is supposed to be like a weak version of the Ribgaro, the creature. Well, I mean, I think it's well, yeah, no. Since the Ribgaro was a boss fight, I still think it was technically stronger than these. But even though we are at a higher level now, but for those who don't remember, the Ribgaro was the monster that Rago released into the wild to try to force the people under his because Rago was a lord, just the people under his.
Hey, that kind of hurt.
Good for you, Carol. Just to force the people in his domain to hunt for his amusement, because he knew that they would all, well, they'd all die, because Ribgaro was bred, you know, to be difficult to kill, you know? So like I said, I think those are supposed to be in the same, like the same breed of monster as Ribgaro. Sure, let's fight.
This should be some fine training.
Yeah, I can agree. It will be some fun training.
That was easy.
Are you thinking of what you're going to do when you meet Alexei?
I'll most likely have to fight him.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like you've made up your mind.
To be honest, I can't believe it even now. No. I think it's really that I don't want to believe it.
Again, I don't blame you, because in many respects, Flynn's entire worldview has been turned on its head. Because up until this point, Alexei was viewed as a paragon amongst the nobility, someone who actually seemed to care about the common man, and was a big part of the reason why Flynn stuck it out with the knights, whereas Yuri was not willing to. So the fact that it's like, hey, the guy that I was idolizing, that I thought would... that I thought would bring real change and make the world a better place, is not the person I thought he was. Yeah, I think not wanting to believe it is a very reasonable and relatable response to have in this situation.
I looked up to him for so long. I've desperately hoped that this was just some kind of mistake.
I get it. Like, I do, Flynn. And I think that's part of the reason why, yes, Flynn fucks up probably just as bad as Yuri in the grand scheme of things, but Flynn reflects. Flynn acknowledges his mistake and owns it. That's why I can get behind Flynn as a protagonist more. Again, despite arguably him making the situation technically worse than Yuri. Because again, I agree Yuri killing Cumore and Rago was the right call. And I agree that Flynn putting his blind faith in Alexei is very much part of the reason why things got as bad as they did at Nordopolica. But Yuri acts defiant and petulant throughout the whole game, and Flynn takes the time to reflect.
Sorry, but I already know the answer to that.
I know. Besides, the way he has treated Lady Estellise can't be explained away as simply a mistake.
No objection there.
Hey, Sir Flynn.
You can just call me Flynn. What is it?
Flynn, you, know what Yuri's done, don't you?
You mean what he did to Rago and Cumore?
Speaking of which...
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm not going to arrest Yuri. At least, not right now.
Then you mean you're going to arrest him after you bring Estelle back to the capital?
Under Imperial law, the things that Yuri has done are serious crimes.
And I mean, again, that's fair. I don't think Flynn is being unreasonable. Again, part of what I liked about Yuri and Flynn's dynamic at the beginning of the game is Yuri kind of had the, yeah, I will break the law so you can make things better. And Yuri seemed to have, well, maybe I read into this, but seemed to have this, yeah, I'm okay if I become the sacrifice to make things better, but as you've seen, clearly he doesn't seem to actually think that way. Clearly Yuri thinks the rules don't apply to him specifically, or the consequences shouldn't apply. Oh my god, I just realized this is that guy D&D player 101 of, yeah, consequences should apply, but just not to me, because I'm the main character, so I should be allowed to murder, kill, and rape, etc. Jesus Christ. And I thought it was just bad Skyrim or bad Final Fantasy player and bad Warhammer player, but no, I'm like, no, this was kind of the attitude of 2000's edgelords, if you think about it.
After all, he killed two of the Empire's leading figures out of a personal grudge.
Yes, technically nothing what you just said is incorrect. I feel it's an oversimplification, but nothing about what you just said is incorrect.
Serious crimes.
A personal grudge? But Yuri was...
Okay, thank you.
I know. Yuri certainly didn't do those things for his own sake.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for acknowledging that.
But that's how the law works. The corruption in the Empire is entirely irrelevant here.
And I admit, nowadays, I don't have as much of an answer for that, because for the most part, I do agree that if we only uphold the law when it's convenient for us, that's how society falls apart. But I kind of feel this last year has kind of opened my eyes to realizing that there are some laws you shouldn't follow, or believing in the law is not always going to protect you if, quite frankly, there are just people in power who either just change the law when it's convenient to them or just ignore it. So, again, yes, I do, at its fundamental core, agree with Flynn here. But fuck, this conversation has gotten so clouded, if you know what I mean. So, I get where Flynn's coming from. Because if he's going to rise in the ranks of knights and actually make an effective change, he has to follow the law. This isn't something he can just disregard willy-nilly because he's not in a position to. But, hey, Muffin. Let's see, fun fact, my cousin's cat's also named Luke. I thought his name Luke because of the reason you don't like your name is Luke. Certain fighter that battles and... Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, I again, hi Muffin, I love Star Wars, but the joke's got, well, I'm kind of hoping that maybe, I mean, thanks to the sequel trilogy and just other Star Wars media becoming popular, the Luke Skywalker jokes aren't as prevalent anymore, but yeah. Anyway.
Are you perhaps in doubt? Confused about which way is right?
Good character growth. This makes for good drama.
I don't know. Is what I'm feeling doubt? Or is it...
Okay, that's a little stupid, saying that Flynn has never experienced doubt. That hollows his character a little bit. That's
Hey,
bad.
what are you doing? You're gonna get left behind, you know.
And again, maybe that's a problem with the English dub.
Sorry.
Like I said,
she's scary. Let's go.
I am thinking. My dad's side of the family is a big Star Wars fan. Yep. Speaking of Star Wars, if this is true, and I can't prove that it is or not, something was just announced for Ahsoka Season 2 that I'm not too happy about, if I'm being perfectly honest. I mean, I'm interested to see what they do with it, but I just think it was a mistake. And for those who don't know, and again, this is only something that's cropped up on social media. I have no idea if it's legit, and hell, I have no idea how to confirm even if it is legit. But they're apparently talking about recanonizing Starkiller, which I love Starkiller. The Force Unleashed are my favorite Star Wars video games, and for a while, they were my favorite piece of Star Wars media, period. But Starkiller is just a character, much like what happened when they recanonized Thrawn, or hell, when they like in the Obi-Wan series, they name drop the written on the wall in the Jedi Underground or whatever was written the name Rom Koda. But the problem is that it's like, sure, there's someone named Ron Koda who has been recanonized. There is someone named Thrawn who is now recanonized. But they're not the character from Legends because their actions are either, like in Thrawn's case, they're either completely different, or in the case of Rom's case, yeah, there's someone named Rom who's canon, but it's impossible for him to be the same character because the events of The Force Unleashed, where Rom Code is from, no longer can happen in the current timeline. Like, Star Wars Rebels made it impossible for The Force Unleashed to be canon. And I don't mind that. It allows The Force Unleashed to be this fun little side thing that is just fun. I mean, the point of The Force Unleashed is that it was a game that let you power trip in the Star Wars universe. And it did a good job with that, and it was damn fun to play. But now, I don't know. Because I'm not saying that Thrawn's book was like niche media, because especially if you were a Star Wars fan, the book that he originated from was a big deal, you know? But I don't know. I don't remember where I was going with that, but at least Thrawn still kind of feels similar enough to his book counterpart. I mean, it's not amazing, it's not perfect, but it's alright. Starkiller I mean, I do think it's funny, because I even remember Sam Witwer himself said in an interview that it was best that Starkiller... By the way, for those who don't know, Sam Witwer is like Dave Filoni's right-hand man. If you don't know who Dave Filoni is, just Google him. Because I can't get into just everything Dave Filoni has done right now. But he's Dave Filoni's right-hand man, and he was the voice actor and did the motion capture / like, Starkiller is designed to look like Sam Witwer. But, anyway. He once said in an interview that he feels Starkiller is better in Legends, because with how powerful Starkiller is, it just wouldn't really jive with Star Wars as it is, because even George Lucas himself stated he really did not like Starkiller because he was too overpowered, which, again, was kind of the point of the character. Let's see. A little mini poodle sitting on my leg. His name is Toby, and he's 2 years old. I'm dog sitting this dog while the owner and their family visits family in the USA. Why would anyone want to visit the USA right now? I joke. It's visiting family that's different than just going on vacation.
Get ready. I'm taking you down.
But yeah, just if it wasn't for the fact that all my friends and family lived in the USA, I would seriously be considering, well, basically fleeing the country at this point. The US is a joke right now, and the fact that so many people refuse to see it is kind of ridiculous. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I heard one of the stupidest things at work yesterday. I won't say what it was, just for a few reasons, but it was pretty stupid. And just really kind of, and it perfectly emphasizes the problem with American arrogance, in a sense. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. Basically, I'm gonna get... I'm going to use a quote from the Jackie Chan movie, The Forbidden Kingdom, mostly because I feel it kind of... I think it is based on actual Eastern philosophy, and it perfectly sums it up. But yeah, I don't feel interested in going to the U.S. except for visiting friends there. The owner of the dog, I guess, for once, yes. Yeah, good. But basically, in the movie, the main character, who is a big fan of kung fu movies, is basically asking Jackie Chan. It's like Jackie Chan's character is like, "Hey, could you teach me all of these like different moves that he's seen in kung fu films?" And all the while, like, Jackie Chan's pouring, you know, like, wine or water into his cup. And he keeps pouring until it starts overflowing. He's like, wait, stop. The cup's full. And then Jackie Chan's character says, exactly. Your cup is already full, so I can't teach you anything if you're already full up. And that's the problem with most conservative Americans nowadays is... we have this illusion that, oh, America's a country of education, oh, America's the greatest country in the world, that we very quickly get to the point where we think we know better than everyone else. And it's like, oh, because I'm a special little snowflake that's part of the greatest country in the world, pff, yeah, fucking right. It's like, oh, and I believe in God, and oh, the American Fascist Party, they represent God, so yeah. But basically, they get in their heads like, oh, doctors and pharmaceutical people, they just want us to stay sick to keep making money off of us, that absolutely everything they say is wrong. So it's like, yeah, the doctors just all want us to have diabetes and die, so go on the carnivore diet because that'll cure diabetes. And I even said, it's like, yeah, but what's going to happen to your heart? Well, don't you know the doctors are the only ones who are telling you that red meat's bad for your heart? I'm like, because too much red meat is bad for your heart. There's enough empirical evidence of that. And anyone who says, oh, well, cavemen, I'm like, we're not cavemen. Humans have evolved to have different dietary needs. So just shut up.
With that kind of shape, I can't tell whether it's supposed to be a human or a monster.
Maybe both. Let's see. That's why there are those videos about when people ask Americans about geography and they fail miserably because they're so... well, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would fail most geography questions because I just was a bad student. And unfortunately, the American education system and the America in general is just so twisted and backwards. It's trying to keep us isolated, because if we don't know about other countries and basically what other options are out there, we'll just keep settling for bullshit.
This is a temple, after all. This is probably a statue of whatever deity the temple was dedicated to.
Yeah, fair. I suck at geography. I'm terrible at it, but I know the basics. Yeah, no, I get you.
You know, it might just be a statue of the Entelekea we saw outside.
That thing did not look nothing like this.
Huh? It couldn't be. I mean, a monster, that is. It's but they don't even look alike.
I mean, I've heard countless stories of dumb Americans going to other countries and trying to pay in US dollars because it's like, oh, this is the only currency that really matters, or oh, every country in the world is subservient to America or whatever. And I really cannot wait. Like, honestly, at this point, America can only crash and burn at this point. And I'm not necessarily looking forward to it, but it kind of needs to happen.
No, I think it's possible.
I fucking hate Logan Paul for that. Like, I actually saw a video on YouTube from a Japanese man saying, please do not come to Japan if you're only coming to make social media videos, because they're just getting sick of clout chasers.
The Entelekea have powers beyond those of humans and can speak in our language.
Excuse me.
It's not strange to think
Oh,
humans
excuse
have
me.
worshipped them in
That
ancient
root beer
times.
did not want to stay down.
The relationship between the Entelekea
Like,
and humans
the fact that
we thought.
there, because I heard that there's another influencer who's serving prison in Korea for doing crap like Logan Paul did. I'm like, I really wish Logan Paul had gone to prison when he was overseas. Then again, oh, there's so many influencers that I'm like, you all should just be in prison.
Maybe they drifted apart during the long, long passage of time, eventually leading to the situation we find ourselves in now.
If that's the case, I wonder just how much we've forgotten.
I'm sure there are things in this world that should never be forgotten.
Patty?
I think that I prefer the distance we have now to the cozy relationship we had back then.
Okay, Carol, that's stupid, but I understand where you're coming from. Especially since, you know, Carol used to be a member of the Hunting Blades, and the Entelekea do look like monsters, so I understand why he'd be uncomfortable with the idea of humans and Entelekea living so close together. That being said, Carol, don't be racist. I know you're a kid. Hates the big statue. I mean, I haven't had my daily dose of limestone today, so yeah, let's definitely eat the stat, actually. Okay, movie recommendation, just for anyone who can track this film down, because it is an old, obscure movie, but it was one of my favorite childhood cartoons, partially because it was an animated film that wasn't made by Disney, and while it's not the greatest movie in the world, it had some unique ideas that just kind of made me feel more grown up watching it. The movie is called Flight of Dragons by Rankin Bass. For those who don't know, Rankin Bass was an American, I think it was an American, it might have been a British animation studio back in the day that went defunct some years ago. And then a lot of the animators that worked at Rankin Bass actually went to work at Studio Ghibli, so you know that the animation is going to be pretty good. But in Flight of Dragons, the basic idea, well, okay, there's a lot more to it, but a big part of the story is that a modern-day scientist gets transported back in time to when dragons still... Wait, why did I not finish the... Oh, wait, never mind. Putting the Triton back on. Gets transported back in time to when magic and dragons still existed. And because he's a bit of a fantasy nerd, he's always wanted to know how dragons operate, for lack of a better word. So there's a lot going on in the movie with him analyzing and actually figuring out scientifically... The Flight of Dragons 1983, that's the one. It has the late, great James Earl Jones voicing the main villain in that movie. But yes, it actually involves him kind of figuring out how dragons fly, how they breathe fire and whatnot, and a big part of their ability to produce fire comes down to dragons need to eat limestone because what's it called? Limestone, I think, oh shoot, it's been a while. Because of the minerals in limestone, it helps produce a gas in the dragon's stomach that they can use to inflate themselves like a blimp. And the idea that in Flight of Dragons, it's less that dragons, flap their wings to fly, and more that they use the gas that they use to breathe fire to inflate themselves like balloons. It does look a little silly, but it works in the context of the movie. It's on Amazon Prime. Time to go support a poor billionaire. Yeah, tell me about it. That's why I made sure to buy it on DVD, because I had it on VHS when I was a kid, and I think my mom got it for me on DVD one Christmas, like 10 plus years ago, because she knew how much that movie meant to me. But then another interesting part is that if a dragon breathes too much fire, they actually lose the ability to fly for a period of time until their body naturally regenerates the gas in their stomach, or not in their stomach. They've got a separate like gas bladder or something like that. But yeah, like the way that like the main villain is beaten is kind of contrived, I'll admit. But it is also kind of interesting because it's literally kind of there's kind of this belief that the older you get, and the less willing you are to open up to the idea of fantastical because you become kind of jaded and cynical. Well, it kind of plays into this idea that a big plot point in the movie is that magic is dying because humans want to believe in science and logic instead, because it's more logical to believe in science and logic. No, that's literally how it's explained in the movie. So because humanity is losing their beliefs, their ability to believe in the fantastical is dying out. So, yeah. The final conflict between... Man, I wish I had more DVD. Physical media is cool, but our TV's been unplugged for years, and I was bought when I was like a baby. It's like late 2000s, early 2010s. Oh, man. I feel ya. Well, I don't... I should say I feel ya because we had a pretty extensive I mean, DVDs became standard when I think I was 9 years old, but my family has always loved movies, so we had a pretty extensive VHS collection that we very quickly just had to get rid of because we stopped having a VHS player that worked. Sorry, I didn't quite pay enough. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, I am a diehard physical media. Yeah, I'm just diehard physical media. Like, I'm no joke. I am genuinely considering pre-ordering like the $179 edition of Shantae's Risky Revolution, which is a game that was canceled but is now getting an official re-release, or getting an official release after almost 20 years, just because that $170 version I think is the only way to get a physical copy of that game.
Estelle's got to be back there somewhere.
I just remember when renting movies were a thing. Every week used to go to the store and rent a movie. Me too. Actually, amusingly, after I purchased a really shitty video game called Baroque for the Wii, I remember making a rule for myself that I would not purchase any games that I hadn't played first. And then shortly after that life decision, the video rental store that I rented games from went out of business, so that kind of became a moot point. I mean, heck, there was a while, so, I know that Blockbuster Video was like the big American movie rental company that people like to bring up and reference a lot, but growing up, there was a Hollywood Video rental right next to our house. I mean, my parents still live there. It's just that building is now a pizza parlor. I know. So a very drastic change. They had a program, like if you pay like a monthly fee, you could rent as up to 3 non-new release movies at a time, and you could rent as many as you wanted in a month. So we had that for a while, and I just remember watching so many, like, you know, straight to VHS movies. It was kind of fun. Like, I got a lot. I used to be like a movie buff because I loved watching movies. I'm now so out of touch with, like, the fact that I saw Superman in theaters this last month, and then planned on seeing Fantastic Four and Jurassic World. I didn't see the latter two yet, but the fact that I'm like, I gotta see all these is still unusual for me now.
This is a barrier that's been locked up somehow with an encrypted formula.
Can you open it?
It uses an ancient technology that's barely been studied at all. Even I've only seen something like this in books. I couldn't even guess how long a thorough analysis might take.
I'm guessing we can't just force our way through.
Locks usually aren't placed on anything that's easily broken into.
Unless you forget to actually secure the lock.
Yeah, you're right. Wait, how do you think Alexei got through here?
He probably forced the lock using Estelle's... the power of the Child of the Full Moon.
Which means he made her use her power again.
Lady Estelise's power.
That's right, Flynn wasn't there for the explanation on what Estelle's power is and why it's a bad thing.
Someone's here.
Oh, yay.
Duke, why are you here?
Forrest crowbarring himself in the plot again to try to convince us he's a relevant character. So you like Superman, but I liked it slightly better than Fantastic Four, but both are really great in my opinion. That's what I've heard, is that both films are good, and well, honestly, the Superman movie in particular hits me pretty strong because I've always been a fan of Superman. Plus, whether it was intended or not, it's super relevant to what's going on in America right now.
You. How is the young lady, the Child of the Full Moon?
God, I hate you.
Alexei's got her somewhere up ahead.
I see. So he has made his move.
Are you here because of him too?
The air crenny in this region has become severely imbalanced. I have come to restrain it.
By restrain, you mean you actually have a way to do that?
To quiet the air crenny, the cause of the imbalance must be removed.
Just come out and say it. You mean kill Estelle.
What?
That's enough. What is it with blaming all the world's problems on a single girl?
Yuri, I don't mean to condone murdering Estelle, but she kind of is. I mean, yes, it's Alexei who's making her use her power, but her power is literally causing the world to possibly die. Technically speaking, all of the world's problems are, well, not all but all the environmental problems are technically Estelle's fault right now. I cannot stress enough, I do not condone, nor do I approve of the plan of killing Estelle to solve the problem, because she doesn't deserve it. But stop acting like there isn't some truth to that statement, because I'm sorry, there is truth to that statement, asshole.
An unstable Child of the Full Moon cannot be ignored.
Again, I hate Duke too, but he is not wrong. Pharaoh was not wrong. They are technically correct. I do not condone the idea of having to kill Estelle to save the world, but stop acting like there is no truth to that, because there is truth to that statement. Jesus Christ, Yuri, fuck you.
You're as hard-headed as Pharaoh. I thought as a human you'd see things differently.
I gotta hear me see things differently. Okay, now Yuri's racist. We're bringing racism into this. God, I hate you. Go suck a dick. Go suck 10 dicks. Go suck a dick that's, fuck the dicks. Go suck a fire poker. I think I like Superman because the message feels very important and very nice. So I think as a movie, Fantastic Four is better, but I enjoy Superman better. That's all I'll say. I agree, and that might be why Fantastic Four might age better than Superman, because Superman is arguably very topical right now. But at the same time, the message of being kind and having hope, I sadly think is never. I hope it's never gonna not be relevant.
Our common bond as humans is nothing. A single life cannot be privileged over the fate of the world.
Yeah, again, I don't agree, because I very much feel, again, because Tales of Symphonia, as Lloyd said, I will not abandon the world, but I will not accept an outcome where Colette has to die. And I get that's what Yuri's trying to do, but he is not presenting his case that way. So Yuri's coming across as a rash douchebag, and Pharaoh and Duke are at the very least have a collected, an understandable argument.
Yeah, never mind that without a bunch of those single lives, there'd be no world.
Oh my Jesus Christ. That... You realize that if a bunch of those single lives are on the line, then that would be the world, you moron. In fact, I would argue that's technically what's on the line. You know, a funny, ironic thing? A show was made where it was about the last blockbuster trying to survive. The show was canceled after one season, streaming on Netflix. That is funny.
Listen, she may be a bumbling, sheltered excuse for a princess, but she's one of ours.
Oh my God.
She's none of your concern, so back off.
Look. I'm going to bring this up again. I know I just said it, but I'm going to bring this up again. And I think this, fuck it. I acknowledge that my bias towards Tales of Symphonia very much painted my negative feelings towards this game. I can acknowledge that. But I feel in this case it's justified, because Lloyd was faced with a similar dilemma. Now, are the situations exactly the same? No. In Lloyd's case, there was a belief that the only way to save the world... Well, I'm glad someone is finding it funny. Lloyd was given the choice of, if we hand Colette over to Crucius, then the world will be regenerated and life will start flourishing in Silverant. He said, but Colette would die in the process. Lloyd said, no. I'm not going to accept the idea that the only way to save the world is that Colette has to die. So Lloyd says, I'm going to find a way to save both the world and Colette. He never once disregarded the plight of the world, but he also decided it was not worth it. Like, again, is it idealistic? Yes. Is it realistic? No. But again, for games for younger audiences, I'm perfectly fine with that. Now let's take Yuri. In this particular case, Estelle's power, like Estelle using her power, is literally causing the world to choke itself to death. Because that's what's happening. Every time she uses her power, she consumes so much air that the air crene have to overproduce. The problem is, if an air crene produces too much air, it loses its ability to stop producing air. And in this world, too much air, even though you need air to... It's kind of like oxygen. You need oxygen to live, but if you get into too rich of an oxygen environment, it will kill you. And that's what's happening. Literally, every time Estelle uses her power, the air crene overactivates, and it starts flooding the world with too much air. So in this particular case, Estelle is literally causing the Earth to die, combined with the fact that there are not enough Entelecheia left alive, because the Entelecheia were the ones who regulated it originally. There's not enough of them left. So literally, especially if Alexei keeps Estelle, the Earth will die. Now, I agree, because Yuri said, how come this perfect world doesn't have a place for Estelle? I agree with that. The plan here is we need to find a way to save the world that's not going to cost Estelle. There's no way to remove Estelle's powers, not that we know of. And I don't think, but yeah, because it's a genetic ability. But I really want to be clear here. I mostly agree with Yuri in this situation. My problem is with his attitude. This holier than thou, I'm right, you're wrong, fuck all of you. He doesn't have a plan. Like, yes, he's looking for a way, but again, Lloyd was always talking about how he's going to find... Yes, is it posturing on Lloyd's part? Of course. But, oh my god, it's hard to explain. Because just this, she's not your concern, so back off. I'm like, dude, he lives in this world. It is his concern. You're just acting like... It's very much like Yuri's aware. It's main character syndrome, basically. Like main character syndrome in D&D. Yuri thinks he's the main character, and yes, unfortunately, in this case, he is. But let's look at it if this was real. He thinks if someone came up to you and said, I mean, it's basically what Donald Trump is doing. He's basically like, I know better than everyone, so I get to make the calls, yada, yada, yada. It's frustrating. It's really frustrating. Because you could have some ethical debates here, but Yuri just is meh. Anyway.
Do you say that knowing just how great a threat her existence poses?
Yes. That's...
What we know has got nothing to do with it. Our motto is always do what's right.
And now we're ignoring facts. The American Fascist Party would be so proud.
And if that means having to get up close and personal with you, then so be it.
Jesus Christ. Duke, you should just kill Yuri here. Make my life less miserable.
Very well.
God damn it. At least with Pharaoh, Judy had a good counter argument. What convinced Duke here?
Time has come to show me the resolve that so impressed Pharaoh.
Pharaoh wasn't impressed, and it was Judy who talked Pharaoh down. It's... Okay. I am fervently of the opinion Tales of Xillia was a do-over and apology for this dumpster fire of a game. Because it did a lot of the same elements that this game had, but did them good. Like, the idea of there's something that's causing the Earth to die, but it's not something that we can necessarily do without. Where's the debate? Or at least, and there was a character in Tales of Xillia 2 named Gaius, who kind of had a similar role to Duke here, in that, yeah, he had opposing ideologies to the protagonist, but there was a moment that it's like, oh, impress me or whatever, and but it's done so much better. Gaius is such a better character than Duke. Jude and Mila are so much better protagonists than Yuri. The story in Xillia actually has a much more solid through line, and Bandai Namco, please re-release the 2 Xillia games on modern consoles, because I really want to stream those two, because they're, even if I have some issues with them, they're some of the best Tales content ever made. Like, for real, if anyone out there wants to get into the Tales series, I really recommend Tales of Xillia as a good starting point. Is it one of my favorites? No, I do still kind of prefer Tales of Graces, even though I know Tales of Graces is kind of bad, just because I like the characters in Graces a hair better. But Xillia is basically this game done right. The only thing I don't really like about Xillia for the most part is the way you explore the world. I like that better in this game. God damn it.
This is Dane Nomos. It is the only manner in which the air may be quieted.
By the way, if you don't remember, Dane Nomos is the sword that Yoder or Estelle need to claim the throne.
Raise it and calm your mind. The sword will take care of the rest.
It'll be easy for Yuri to calm his mind. He doesn't have anything in his mind.
Duke, wait! Dane Nomos. That's the name of the sword of the Imperial line that's been missing all this time. What are you doing with it? Who are you?
I don't know! That's the honest truth.
Answers to those questions are not what you should be seeking now.
Like I said, I've beaten this game once before. Abby and I got pretty far through this game once before. I don't... I don't fucking know what Duke's deal is. And Duke's the final boss of the game. I stand by, the final enemy should have been Alexei, because Alexei actually ties into both Yuri and Flynn's personal story. Duke is so not needed. I hate you, Patty. I hate you so much. You were not in the original game. You did not need to be in this game. You're not as bad as Yuri, but you add nothing to this equation.
If my memory serves me right, we also ran into him in Gasparost. Who is he?
I don't fucking know, okay? He exists purely to be like a mirror image of Yuri. I mean, even look at them. White hair, black hair, mirror image. That means posing ideal, but Yuri does not have a good character arc. That's not a person. Plus, we already have Flint for that. You fucking fucktards.
I don't know. I can't even tell if he's a friend or a foe.
I don't even think the game developers knew. What's my solution to everything? Eating, maybe. I'm hungry. Yeah, let's just eat Duke. Let's just cook Duke up and eat him, and then we don't have to deal with his bullshit anymore. Actually, fuck it. Let's cook you. No, if we cook Yuri, we'll catch the edgelord disease.
It's just like Estelle's. So that sword really is...
Wait. Hold the fucking phone. The formula in Estelle's power is what's causing the air to become imbalanced. But the formula in the sword, which is the same as the one in Estelle's, is going to balance the air? Make sense, you stupid game. Make sense. Christ, I hate this game.
It opened.
By the way, if anyone actually decides to play this game, equip Dame Nomos now, due to the fact that you do not keep Dame Nomos. So, if you want to get the bonuses from Dame Nomos, you have to learn them now before you beat the dungeon.
Full moon, the resolve that impressed Pharaoh? Just who the hell is this Duke guy?
Well, judging from what he says, it seems he's in contact with Pharaoh.
Yeah, they're pen
He has the
pals.
sword Prince Yoder's been looking for. I don't like this.
Me neither.
But why would he just lend us something as important as Denomos?
Because he's a badly written character with no established motivation.
I wouldn't get my hopes up about that.
Testify,
Just
Rita.
have to do what we can for now.
Yeah, let's hurry.
Okay, can we get rid of Flint, or can we get rid of Yuri? Can the game just be? Can the game and let's get rid of Yuri and Patty, and you know what? I don't need Judith either. Can the game just be about Carol and Rita? They're the interesting characters. Actually, I better start picking all the fights so I can learn the Dame Nomos abilities.
Like an easy win.
Let us take caution.
Yeah, hey, Rita, I could really use some champagne. I've got such an awful headache from this game. Okay, I will say, I know it's impractical, but I do actually really like the design of Dame Nomos. I think it does look pretty cool. I have an empty plate. I throw Yuri on it and I'll take him. Alright, I'll quickly throw him in the frying pan. Alright. One deep fried edgelord coming right up. Yeah, no, just the more that I, you know, the more just now I have realized Yuri very much is written like a D&D that guy with main character syndrome. Again, he does, like, Yuri's one truly redeeming quality that I truly could say, no notes, it's actually done really well, is his relationship with Carol. I like his big brother dynamic with Carol, and I like how supportive Yuri is of Carol. But that really is, and again, I like how his character is set up, and I liked the potential that his character had in terms of contrasting with Flynn. But that's really where my praise ends. I know another beef I do have with this game that I do want to bring up is Rapide. I don't outright have a problem with having an animal companion that is just there to be a dog, and honestly, I think Rapide would be fine in that role. The problem is, the Tales series is known for having great characters, you know? And Rapide just isn't that interesting. Like, his design is fine, but he's just kind of a nothing burger in the party in the grand scheme of things. He's just a dog who likes to fight with a knife and doesn't identify as a dog. Yeah, I know it's weird that I keep saying that, but the way that, like, I don't think we've seen the cutscene or seen the skit in this live stream, but there is a skit that Yuri can have that he explains that Rapide just decided he didn't want to be a dog one day, which, yeah, that's very transcoded, and I don't have a problem with that, but it just, besides it being like, oh, Rapide's former owner probably died at some point, I don't remember the whole details, there's just nothing to him. And again, he's a dog, he's an animal companion, there doesn't necessarily need to be anything more to him, but it's like, you could have had another character be playable, or just not had him be playable, just have to be a companion that helps, that, you know, occasionally features in the story, like, well, I guess Tipo, I mean, Tipo wasn't exactly a pet, and technically helped fight in Tales of Xillia, but... Or like Mew in Tales of the Abyss. Let's see. People with main character syndrome are annoying, but I've seen that in anime done in an entertaining way, but they weren't actually the main character, because otherwise it'd be really annoying. You see, that's the thing. You can get away with it in anime. You can technically get away with it in a video game. Because in a single-player video game, or in an anime that you have to watch, there is a set protagonist, you know? Like, so I watch D&D Doge, who, he reads Reddit RPG horror stories. Now, I did used to watch some other RPG horror story channels. Like, the first one I ever watched was Crit Crab. I stopped watching Crit Crab because, A, he doesn't upload very much, and B, I didn't feel like he was offering, like, as his videos went on, he stopped offering proper analysis, because it's like, if I'm going to watch one of these videos, I do want to see the person be like, okay, this is how I would deal with the situation, you know, actually offer commentary and solutions to the problem at hand. And I just felt that he stopped doing that as time went on. But then, let's see, I watched another one, I think it was, his name was like Joe Crow or something like that. He didn't upload very often, and I just lost. The problem I had with him is because he uploaded so infrequently. By the time I saw his videos, all the stories he was talking about had already been covered by other people, you know?
I can't believe this is Dane Nomos. The proof of
And then there was one other guy who won't be named because he's a prick. Like, no, I mean, he was an actual prick to me and some other people, so I'm just going to leave him nameless because their channel is permanently blocked from, like, just, made it so I will never see them on YouTube again. So, yay. But, a criticism that's often brought up that it's like, if it's been, admittedly, this is more of a DMPC problem, but you do also kind of run into this with people with main character syndrome. It's that if you want to tell a story about your badass OC, write a book. Like, do not force everyone else to sit in on your, you know, power fantasy or whatever. Just write a book, because in books or whatever, it's okay to have a character who's the absolute best. I mean, they can make pretty boring characters, but most stories, people expect a main character, you know?
Yuri, you can become the Emperor.
This is just for decoration. I wouldn't want to be the Emperor even if I could.
You're so young, yet you have no ambition.
Shut up, Patty.
Little girl playing dress up.
The lost proof of imperial succession. When you get down to it, the loss of that sword was the source of all the fighting over the succession to the throne.
I mean, sort
Was
of.
Duke really the one who stole it?
Hey, give me a break. Don't go saying the Imperial Knights are gonna claim this sword.
I know. This isn't the time for that.
Duke went around using that sword to control Air Crane.
Oh, So Duke's doing the same thing as the Antilocheia.
No, honestly, I wish Flynn was the main character of this game. He's got a better design than Yuri. His character arc is much like... It's not great, but it's more nuanced than Yuri's. Honestly, I've something I've actually said is I think Asbel from Tales of Graces, which was the Tales game that came out right after this one, I think was meant to be a Flynn stand-in. Because they're both knights, they both have similar looking haircuts, albeit their hair color is different. I honestly feel Tales of Graces was their attempt to be like, okay, let's actually make a game that has a Flynn analog as the protagonist, since we dropped the ball with him being the protagonist in Vesperia. But yeah, no, his design's great.
Maybe so. That sword, it produced the same phenomenon as Estelle did.
Okay, again, what does that mean? Because again, Estelle's power is killing the Earth, but the sword and the Antilocheia use the same formula to control the air?
Maybe the Rizomata formula was already worked out once before. But then, why was that information lost?
Because a jackass edited Wikipedia.
Maybe it's related to the Cataclysm, like the way that the Blastia was lost. Why did that become an Imperial treasure?
Because royal people like sharp, shiny things?
There are tons of things we don't know about this sword. But let's wait to figure them out until we've settled things here. Right now, rescuing Estelle is our top priority.
No, making a grilled cheese sandwich should be our top priority.
Right, let's hurry.
Okay, all joking aside, I want Estelle back if for no other reason than she's the goddamn healer. I will never forgive this game for taking my goddamn healer away. That is... I know you lose your healers in a bunch of other Tales games too, but not to the... So, admittedly, I don't like the fact that both Colette and Estelle really do become damsels in distress at a number of points throughout both of their games. And again, I'm bringing up Colette a lot in relation to Estelle, because I feel in many ways, if you strip them both down to like their most basic formula, like their most basic character traits, they started in the same place. They did branch off decently enough to make them distinct characters, but they're both kind-hearted characters. They both have unique births that make them special. And let's be real, they both wear predominantly white with one other color to accent their outfit. So I really feel like it's not unreasonable to say that there is some overlap between the characters. But yeah, Colette, I think, to be fair, I think Colette gets kidnapped more than Estelle, or Colette gets kidnapped more than Estelle. But Colette, again, was not the party's primary healer. Rain was Symphonia's primary healer. And I think you could separate her a few times, but never for these massive lengths, and for the most part outside of like the dungeons where you're expected to split into multiple parties, you're never forced to be separated from her. I think the big time that you do get separated from her is during the initial fake out ending in Symphonia, where all of your companions supposedly die one by one, which, for the record, I understand why that was there, because again, RPG for younger kids, that probably would be something they'd be more affected by, but it is a contrived plot point. And honestly, I really cannot stand fake out deaths anymore, because they're overused, and I do feel they do cheap. Well, it's not as bad as what, say, comic books do, where they will actually kill a character just to magically revive them later. But fake out deaths do cheapen the drama, if you know what I mean. And I mean, an occasional fake out death is fine, but when literally leading up to the fight against Pronema and Yggdrasil, the fact that every single companion has a fake out death is kind of lame. And again, I'm speaking as someone who has an unhealthy love of Tales of Symphonia. I mean, I've bought that game 3 fucking times, and 2 of the 3 times I bought the goddamn collector's edition, which, in the case of, like, I don't remember how much the collector's edition for the, wait, maybe I didn't buy the collector's edition for the HD remaster. I don't remember. But I know in the case of the initial, when it was remade for the PlayStation 3, that was like $120, which, I mean, that's nothing compared to collector's editions now, but still. Yeah, I got like the Steelbook, I got like the special collector's box that had like the art book and the soundtrack. It came with like 4 minifigures, one of Lloyd, one of Colette, and then because it was a combo pack with Tales of Symphonia 1 and 2, it had the main characters from Tales of Symphonia 2, which, fuck that game. Like, Tales of Symphonia 2 might be the only Tales game that rivals this one in terms of how much I don't like it. But I don't have the same level of bias against Tales of Symphonia 2 as I do this one, because I played Tales of Symphonia 2 when it was new, so I was a little younger. And just the idea of being able to see my favorite characters again was enough for me to overlook all the bad writing, all the character assassination, throwing out all the world building that the first game did. Plus, it had a Pokemon-esque element of monster collecting, and I'm a lot more willing to overlook a game's faults if they have Pokemon elements in them. Or if they have, like, so 2 things that I absolutely love in games is an element of monster collecting and monster evolution, which Tales of Symphonia 2 had in spades. And if you have the ability to, like, build a town or populate a settlement, if you know what I mean. Like, I really like the fact that in Kirby and the Forgotten Land, like, it's super minor, it's not all that deep, but the fact that every Waddle Dee you rescue moves into the town and subsequently just expands the town with new facilities, I'm like, that's cool. I'm all over that shit. It's a feature I also liked in Digimon World: The Next Order. It's like, yeah, it's not that deep. It's just simply save a Digimon, save a Waddle Dee. They'll move into the town and you'll get new facilities to work with. Like I said, it's about as deep as a soup spoon, but it's something I liked. That's why I was kind of sad that when... Hello, Leaf God. How are you today? But it was one of the reasons that I was sad that by the time I discovered White Knight Chronicles, the online features... Really? Oh, okay. Like a permanent tent, or like you just set up a tent for like a camping trip? But it was one of the reasons why I was so sad that when I discovered White Knight Chronicles, the online community was basically dead at that point, since I think the only... Because, like, you could build a town in White Knight Chronicles, but I think you had to play online missions or something like that in order to get people to move into it, so I wasn't really able to take advantage of that. Okay. In my backyard. Okay. Just having a backyard camp out, or was there like another reason it was built? Because I mean, I remember I did backyard campouts as a kid because we didn't have a lot of money growing up. I mean, we were not struggling per se, but vacations for us, totally get that. Vacations for us were, if we were lucky, a camping trip, but even then we didn't do that too much because my dad was always busy because he was a lawyer, and no, not one of those private lawyers who'd like pay me a bunch of money and I'll sue somebody. He was a public lawyer, so like I said, we weren't financially struggling by any means, but we weren't wealthy by any means either. He also had a second job in the military, so he was busy a lot.
Oh, guess we're done.
So just being able to set up a tent to sleep in the backyard was a big deal for us because it was a way to kind of pretend like we were going on vacation, even though we never really could. Same with me, only that my dad just has it. Alright, fair enough. Because, yeah, just... I mean, my parents, like me and Abby, we admittedly, we do have a spending problem. Like, I can own that. But we would never take vacations as when we were young, unless, because like my dad being a public lawyer for the state or the city or whatever, he would be sent around the state and even around the country for conferences. And if possible, we'd often go with him and just kind of enjoy what was ever down there. But again, our vacations almost always coincided with some of these, because then my dad's job would pay for our hotel accommodations. Because, like, for one of my dad's, for several of my dad's conferences, it was held down at a conference center in Zion's National Park in Utah. So we would always, whenever those conferences were had, we'd always go down with my dad, because Zion's is a very, very beautiful place to go on vacation. And yeah, if you're ever in the US, which I don't recommend right now, and you're ever in Utah, I would recommend going there. The other exceptions would be is that we'd only ever go to California. Like, we only ever went to California, I think, twice growing up. And even when we did, we only would go because we had extended family out there that we could stay with free of charge. So that's the only way we're able to afford to go to, like, Disneyland, the San Diego Zoo, or SeaWorld. Oh, and Universal Studios. But yeah. And it was because my parents were very thrifty and very frugal. And again, I don't say that as a criticism. Like, honestly, I do feel I could probably learn from my parents, since, I mean, to be fair, so back in May, me and Abby, we took a trip to Disneyland for a whole week. And admittedly, this is something we have talked about wanting to do for a long time. So it was something that we kind of had built up to. So it absolutely was not just a thing that we just decided to do. But I also can't admit that we spent way too much money in Disneyland when we were there. Because growing up, my parents always made sure to bring sandwiches with us into the park to, you know, eat for lunch and dinner and whatnot, in order to not, you know, pay the exorbitant amount of, you know, money that eating in the park would cost you. We were only ever allowed, like, one souvenir, and then we usually never did anything if it required more of a payment besides just the entry fee, you know? Well, yeah, me and Abby, we sampled plenty of the food in the park. We, you know, built lightsabers, and like the expensive lightsabers, and got not numerous, but got a fair share of souvenirs. Again, I apologize about the yawning, but once again did not get very much sleep last night. And I've officially been formally diagnosed with severe sleep apnea and insomnia. So I'm still waiting to hear back from my doctors to try and get something sorted in regards to that, you know? It's probably a good thing I can't stream as long today just in general because, well, it is not my birthday today. I am today is when we're doing my birthday celebration just because that's when we can. But yeah, I've got to, oh, I can fall. Because this is when me and my friends can get together and do it, you know? So, I gotta be done by no later than, 9 or 10 a local time, so I have time to properly get ready for that.
Man, could you be any weaker?
My blood hurts. So, for those who don't know, My Blood Hurts is from an episode of Teen Girl Squad on 4-Star Runner. I never really watched Homestar Runner or Teen Girl Squad, but Sunshine was really into it. And I don't remember from which one it is, but I think there's like an episode where one of them gets attacked by, I think it was a weasel or something like that. And, after she gets mauled, they're like, how are you doing? And she was like, my blood hurts. Well, Sunshine, me, Sunshine, and older brother, we always quoted everything incessantly. So, Sunshine just said, my blood hurts randomly, just because they thought it was funny, and they're not wrong, it is. But my mom overheard it and was like, wait, what? How does his blood hurt? More importantly, how would he know his blood hurt? Oh, shoot. Okay, I'm probably going to have to turn off using items for now, Flynn, just because you've officially burned through, like, all of our orange gels. And we still might need some of those for the boss fight. So my mom overheard it and she started freaking out because it's like, how could Sunshine know his, what does that mean that their blood hurts? What do I do with that? Let's see, I'm back. Also, my blood hurts. Out of context sounds really concerning. No, it really does. Because again, my mom didn't know Sunshine was quoting a video. So she was really freaked out until Sunshine explained to her that my blood hurts was a quote from a video. So, yeah. Okay, Yuri is maxed out on that, because I'm pretty sure you can only get up to 3 stars. By the way, Rita, by declaring you're looking for an easy win is a very quick way to end up getting fucked over by having a win that's not, in fact, easy.
I'm just getting started.
Oh no, I've been stabbed in the butt by the demon unicorn. Whatever shall I do? Oh, my pride. Oh, my precious pride. Oh, I must nurse my tenders back to full HP Otherwise, I'll never be able to enter Best Butt of the Year contest ever again. Please don't come back and try again. You're dead. Please don't come back. It is time for you to fly away, far away, until we see the light of day. There we go. Okay, I can't help but feel that maybe this room was meant to be a lot darker than it is. And I don't know if it's like my TV setting, the game setting, or just upscaling the game into HD is kind of ruining it. Because, again, the game was initially released on the Xbox 360, which, while HDMI compatible, was released with AV cables. Meaning that the planned aspect ratio, or not aspect ratio, the planned color, like the default way of viewing it from a color palette standpoint, would be way more washed out and way less appealing to look at than an HDMI cable can produce. So it could be that. Because, let's be real, I love the Tales games, but more often than not, when a game gets remade or remastered, it's usually not much more than a graphics overhaul and maybe some extra content.
We're done.
Except for Tales of Hearts R and Tales of Innocence R. Because as far as I can tell, those games were remade from the ground up. Because, I think, don't quote me on this, Tales of Hearts in its original DS format looked a lot more similar to the classic Fantasia game, or the classic Tales games, like Tales of Fantasia and Tales of Destiny. But the Tales of Hearts R version of the game that was released on the PS Vita looks a lot more like this game. Actually, dare I say that the character sprites look better than the characters in this game. But the gameplay is very similar. I remember playing Xbox. Our school had a room where you could play Xbox after school was over, and you could hang up later. I made books accounts in there and forgot my passwords. That kind of sounds so. In my junior high and high school, in both the library and in some of our tech classes, we had computers. And the popular thing to play, at least for a while, was RuneScape. The MMO. I think RuneScape was the name for it. So, yeah, the very popular thing was to play that game. And, well, forget your password for all your accounts. Since, again, this was very early days of the internet and early days of MMOs, it was pretty easy for people to scam you out of your password without you realizing it, you know?
That's over.
Because I remember there was a very common scam in RuneScape that I remember someone tried to pull on me, but partially because I didn't understand and partially because I knew better. Like, the scam was, like, in RuneScape, there were certain words you couldn't type into chat, and they would just kind of turn them into the star symbols. Things like, you know, vulgarity, etc. Well, one of the things that they also blocked out is that if you type the word password in, it would also block it out. At least when I started playing, it would block password out. So a popular scam would be people trying to be like, hey, do you know that if you type your password into the chat, it will just come out as stars? Or like, hey, you should type your password into the chat, because it's kind of cool to see it, you know, come out like this or whatever, even though the game wouldn't actually register your word as something that needed to be blocked. So they trick you into saying your password, and then they could steal your account. Since RuneScape was a game that your account name was also your character name, because it was just like one character per account. RuneScape is indeed the name. It may be a young person, but I have tried to be educated on this stuff. What's going on for my birth? You are... Well, I can't say that I haven't done that at all, but you're probably a better person than I. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I do. No, I do try to be aware of things that do predate me, at least in terms of like certain things like geek culture, you know. Pretty or terrifying or both? Okay. Oh dear.
Estelle, how does it feel to face your last moments in the very temple built to worship you?
Fucker.
Wretched human.
Enough! Alexei, please stop this!
If you are so eager to free him from his suffering, why not use your healing arts to comfort him?
Fuck you.
You're utterly powerless. Alone, you are nothing more than a poisonous blight to this world. I'm sure you understand that now.
Sanford is older than me. It is like baffled when I talk about childhood YouTubers because childhood and YouTube didn't sound right to them. I mean, you're not wrong. Like, let's see, YouTube. I was 14 or 15 before YouTube really became a thing, and I didn't really start watching YouTubers until a bit later, since like watching videos on the internet for me at first was going to like Rooster Teeth's homepage and watching Red versus Blue, or like like trying to type, you know, to go to the really shitty Google video tab, you know.
Estelle, are you all right? Lady Estellise!
Estelle! We've come to save you.
You again. What stubborn, misguided fools you all are.
Yeah, what a one-dimensional twist villain you are, but you still would have made a better final villain than in Duke.
Yuri, Flynn, all of you! Estelle! We've come to rescue you!
You are incapable of saving this princess. I am her only hope for salvation.
Bull Schneider.
Spare me!
The most glorious moment for any tool is when it is finally used.
So, who's using you? Because you're the only tool I can see in this room besides Yuri.
Even the poison of this world can be a blessing if used correctly.
Yeah, it's called It's called hitting acid.
And only I can do that.
Main character syndrome
Now,
much?
princess, come with me. Without me, I am afraid your power.
Alexei!
Alexei, stop!
Weren't you Entelakea supposed to be masters of this world?
Stop it! Let Estelle go!
Oh, how disappointing. He's dead.
But how can that be?
Smaller than I would have hoped. No matter. It can be used in any number of ways.
Fuck you.
Alexei!
Ah, you've come this far. Now, be baptized in the air your dear princess charged with her own hands.
I'm pretty sure Alexei is the same name of the Russian Captain America from Marvel. I think I knew about there being a Russian Captain America, but I don't know, maybe it didn't. Interesting.
What are you doing with that sword? What happened to Duke?
He gave this to us before he took off, and he didn't seem all that worried about you.
What irony. That which I have searched for all these years, that it would arrive at my feet, only when I no longer have a need for it. With the child of the full moon, the apatheia, and my knowledge, De Nomos means nothing to me.
Ooh.
Talk to yourself a lot, huh? Not a good sign. Now shut up and let Estelle go.
All right, I'll admit that was kind of a funny insult.
Are you certain that is what the princess wants?
Estelle!
Your Highness?
Estelle! What's going on? Estelle!
Contrived plot point. A contrived plot point. Let's just leave it at that.
I don't know.
What are you talking about?
As long as I'm with you all, I'll only cause you harm. I want to be with you. I just don't know what I should do.
Yeah, Bill, you shouldn't stay with Alexei at the very least. I'm just saying, just saying a lot. Like a lot. Like supercalifragilisticexpialidocious a lot. And the Russian Captain America is the Red Guardian, played by... Okay, cool to know.
Estelle, pull yourself together.
Damn it, Patty's being the voice of reason. Stop that.
Estelle, get over here.
She's in a cave. Okay, I actually think that's probably just a bad
If
translation.
there's something you're unsure about, we'll work it out together.
With therapy.
I can't take this.
Yeah, me neither.
Now, Mr. Yuri Lowell. Such brash behavior does not befit a young lady's escort. Not very gentlemanly of you at all.
Yeah, the main villain who's forcing her to kill people and imprison her. Like, yeah, you're definitely the person that, should be giving me tips about being gentlemanly.
Sorry for my lack of manners. There aren't many gentlemen where I'm from.
Yeah, no kidding.
That sword is nothing more than an annoyance now. I will rid myself of you here.
Yuri, everyone.
Yeah, just let him walk away.
Get out of the way!
Plot twist.
Who's he?
Captain Schwan.
I thought you always let your knights handle things for you. What's
When you get close to the mic sometimes and you speak, sometimes remind me of the Joker. I hope that's a compliment. Like, some sentences sound like you're trying to sound like the Joker from The Dark Knight. Hey, Muffin, you want to know how I got these scars? You see, this game was annoying, and it pissed me off. One night, it made me go a little crazier than usual. So I bashed my face against a cactus for 5 hours straight. Anyway. So, yeah, if you remember, Captain Schwan was someone that we've only really seen in profile from behind, I think like 3 times throughout the course of the game. The Schwan Brigade is the commander in charge of those 3 knights that have been comedically pursuing Yuri throughout the game.
What is it, Repeat?
I suppose there's no fooling the nose of a dog.
That voice. Wait, Raven?
Yeah, that's a good Joker impression. In my opinion, for reals. Thank you. I don't get this plot twist, if I'm being honest.
Huh? The old man? What's going on?
This doesn't look like a joke.
So, Raven, who was the Dawn's right-hand man, has also secretly been Commander Schwan this entire time. I don't fully get logistically how this twist is supposed to work. Because I don't think the Dawn, who fought in the Great War, the same Great War that Schwan fought in, wouldn't know who Schwan was. And yeah, I don't know, maybe it was a Clark Kent-like thing that his behavior was so different between his 2 personas that just the change of hair and outfit was enough to fool people, which, for the record, anyone who says the glasses don't make sense for Superman, best plot twist in Star Wars. I'm the spy. Yeah, no. It's not shown very well in any of the movies except for the Christopher Reeve ones, but Clark is meant to act much differently than Superman. His voice is even supposed to be pitched a little higher. But yeah.
One of the Union's most important members is a captain in the Knights?
The first time we met, I didn't think it was possible, but...
Huh. So that's what was going on.
Wait! But what about the Dawn, Raven?
So it wasn't just the Commandant, but you too. Why?
Conversing with you is not one of my duties.
Just not my duties. You know what is my duty? Taking a shit. Again, I don't think Raven is the worst traitor character in the franchise because, by the way, just traitor characters are kind of a staple of Tales games. They stopped featuring as much. Like, I don't think there was one in Zestiria. There wasn't one in Berseria, I don't think. And there wasn't one in Arise. At least I don't remember there being one in those three. But, like, in the early Tales games, or at least maybe the mid-early Tales games, they were everywhere. And... no, maybe he is the worst traitor character, actually. Sorry, I'm going through in my head. Spoilers, just real quick. In Symphonia, it was Zelos/Kratos. Not great, but but there was proper build-up. Well, it made sense. In Abyss, it was Annis, and that was actually handled really well, in my opinion. I just don't really like Annis very much as a character. And I don't think there was one in Graces. No, it was technically Richard, and that was... it was handled fine. It's just the game's narrative was just not amazing. Zelia, it was Alvin, and no, I think maybe Alvin is a little worse. Not because him betraying you doesn't make sense, but he betrays you like 3 or 4 times to the point that it makes the main characters look stupid that they keep trust. Anyway.
Raven!
We're in a bit of a hurry, so let us through. Wait, you're not really thinking of trying to stop us, are you? What the hell?
Schwan Olterain, first captain of the Imperial Knights, ready to do battle.
I know that this boss fight was the first one that me and Abby just could not... was the first secret mission that we just could not do. Huh.
I will tell you again, I am not Raven.
Yeah, I'm just going to also throw this out here. The over limit in this game kind of sucks compared to other games. Because, like, at least in, like, every other game, going over limit makes you immune to being staggered. Not the case here. Honestly, I think probably the best plot twist in anything might actually be the revelation that Vader is Luke's father. Mostly just because, yeah, okay, maybe it's not one of the best plot twists, just since... maybe I should say it's one of the best plot twists in terms of what it does for a franchise, if you know what I mean. Because, yeah, I realize maybe it's not the best because... the only way it works, because I know a lot of people have criticized the whole certain point of view thing, if you know what I mean, which I admit does deserve some criticism, even if I don't mind it personally. But... just the fact that it basically, that revelation basically just transformed the way we looked at Star Wars up to that point. Because, yeah, a plot twist, in my opinion, needs to change how you look at a piece of media while still making sense within the story that that piece of media has set up, you know? Because just because you don't see a twist coming doesn't make it good. Like... Bye, Carol. Ow. I'm surprised you didn't die from that. Because an example that I would... So, what's it called? A friend... Well, more a friend of... Well, he wasn't really a friend of my older brother. Just the older brother of someone I went to high school with. Actually, you know what? He is the older brother of a friend because I am friends with one of his younger sisters, just not the one I went to high school with. But he, and I'm still friends with him on Facebook. Let's see. I accidentally turned off audio, so I was really confused for a sec. Just wanted to share that funny moment. I was about to ask what happened to the audio. Oops. But after Star Wars The Last Jedi came out, because he is a big Star Wars fan, and he really, like me, like, I hate The Last Jedi, and I haven't even seen Rise of Skywalker because of that. But he hated The Last Jedi, and he kind of listed, like, the twists in The Last Jedi are a big part of the reason why he hated it. And what he said is that it's like, a twist isn't good because I didn't see it coming. Because you could have told me that the reason why Luke Skywalker was absent from the galaxy was because he had turned into a teddy bear made of cotton candy. Sure, I wouldn't have seen that twist coming, but that doesn't make it a good twist. So yeah, anytime I talk to someone about the criteria of a twist being good, I always use the teddy bear made of cotton candy analogy, because... Okay, good. I literally revived right as... Okay, good.
I'm not done yet.
What is that?
I would have thought such a blow would be the end of me. Of this cursed body.
What the? Is that a blasty on his chest?
Good twist is a twist that doesn't happen just for the shock value. That's what I've heard, at least. I agree. Because quite often a twist will have, like... Let's take the revelation that Huxley was the spy all this time. That, I feel like, was only there for the sake of, oh, we need a twist reveal, but the problem is Commander Huxley has been shown to be a psychopath at that point, so it just doesn't track that he was secretly good all that time. It's... A twist needs to be something that, if you go back and rewatch what came before, it makes sense in the context of you knowing that all this time all this time the twist was actually going on behind the scenes, you know? Like, again, Tales of some, like, as much as I don't think the logistics of Raven being Schwann makes sense, this reveal that he has a Blastia in his chest, I do think does. Based on, I know we only talked about it once, but he did talk about the fact that, he did talk about, like, to have died or something like that, you know? Or in Tales of the Abyss, spoilers for that, it's revealed Luke is actually a clone, and Ash is the original Luke. That also works because in the context of the game, we've been kind of sprinkled in little hints like that. It furthers the story, and that's my favorite part about twists. Watching something and seeing the small hints and clues. And it comes as a shock to Luke, but it doesn't necessarily shock the audience purely for the sake of shock value. See, a twist should only shock if it makes everything you've witnessed be recontextualized and force you to be like, oh. I don't remember what movie it was, but there's apparently a slasher movie where it was revealed that one of the main characters was the killer this whole time and the whole movie was in her head. That's a bad twist because the movie isn't presented in a way that would let us know that this whole thing was just constructed in her mind to create this situation where she and her girlfriend can end up together or something like that.
It's his heart, or rather, a Blastia that has taken its place.
The original was lost 10 years ago.
10 years? You mean in the Great War?
You know, with how little is known about the Great War, the Great War should have been more than 10 years ago. I'm just saying.
I lost my life during that war, but Alexei saw fit to give it back to me with this.
It's hard to believe he'd go that far.
So that must be a Hermes Blastia as well. Why did Baul not notice it then?
I would imagine that is because it isn't powered by air, but by my own life force.
A Blastia powered only by human vitality? No way!
By the way, I want you all to remember that Raven has that in his chest, because that brings up like one of the biggest plot holes or one of the biggest plot oversights in the game.
Oh no! We're trapped in here!
That would be Alexei. He intends to bury you alive.
But that's crazy. You're still in here.
He couldn't pass up a chance to dispose of that sword, now that it's of no use to him.
So he was using Estelle to lure Duke here. This guy's even more twisted than I thought.
Yep.
Hey, old man! This is no time to be standing around!
The end has finally arrived for me.
Because, I mean, again, I want to be clear. You could pick up that Raven was actually Schwann this whole time. Like, the foreshadowing was there. Again, it's a logistic thing that it doesn't make sense to me. So, I want to be clear, I don't consider this a completely egregious plot twist, and I just don't feel it works for me.
You never intended to leave this place alive.
Captain Schwann.
Who said you just get to lay down and die right here? Even if all your travels with us were just some joke to you, are you trying to tell me your anger at the Dawn's death was just an act too? I thought the guilds never quit until the job was done. Wasn't that his dying wish? You go on living until the end.
Okay, as much as I don't like Yuri and as much as I think he lacks tact, this I actually do think is a good speech because Raven needs someone to cut through the bullshit. So, again, I want to give credit when I see it. I do think this is actually a good scene.
Man, you really can be a downer sometimes, you know that?
Okay, what I do find interesting is that Raven used his sword in his left hand, but he shoots his bow right-handed. I don't really have anything to comment on that. I mean, that doesn't really mean much. Just, it's something interesting. No, I agree. Like, if you're going to be... That's something I really admire about the critic Nitrorad, is when he first started, he was just kind of following the AVGN format of just... lol, let's rage because whatever. But as his videos went on, he realized, like, no, I don't want to just be another lol reviewer. I need to actually point out when something is good, because you gotta be able to recognize when something works. Because I want to be clear, from a gameplay standpoint, this is one of the better Tales games. I find this game, despite how frustrating the story is, it is very fun to play the game. And I love Symphonia. It's my favorite Tales game. It's my favorite game of all time. It's not as much fun to play because of how old and dated the combat is, so I can't recommend that one. Especially the HD remaster where the frame rate drops down to 10 at some points. But it's just the story and characters in this game don't work like they do in Symphonia.
We're not gonna make it.
Raven! No! If you use your blastia like that, the condition you're in, you'll...
I can't keep this up forever. Get out of here. Oh, man!
Captain Schwan!
Alexei's headed for the capital. There, he'll implement the final stages of his plan. The rest, I'll leave in your hands.
Raven!
Carol, come on.
What?
Move! Must be getting soft in my old age.
You're 40. Yes, I know in the Dark Ages, people usually didn't live that long, but still.
Raven! That idiot! So he really was one of us after all.
He still kidnapped Estelle.
You idiot!
Why'd that have to happen? Why?
Look alive. We got a princess that needs rescuing. Now step to it.
Come now. Let's go.
Stuck with another job nobody much wants?
It's nothing. We are actually in a hurry.
I personally prefer story over gameplay. Me too. If there's... Well, okay.
The Heracles is gone!
For the most part, I do as well, but there are exceptions. Like, I like playing Biomutant for the gameplay, and the story's crap. But yeah, for the most part, I guess I need a balance between the two. If the story is peak and the gameplay is super frustrating, then it's fine. I mean, Undertale's a game, very simple, but the story was why it became popular. I mean, you're not wrong.
Just like Raven said, they must have left for Zophius already.
Yuri Lowell, what are you doing here? And Captain Flynn too?
LeBlanc, even Tweedle A and Tweedle B are here.
And what is a Tweedle? Out with it! Fools! This is not the time for nonsense! What wonderful timing, Captain Flynn! We haven't been able to get a hold of him since he went by himself to coordinate with his I honestly cannot understand what His Excellency is thinking lately. We looked all over for him and...
Alexei is on his way to the capital, in Heracles.
We just missed him then. And what about Captain Schwan?
Schwan saved us!
Oh, did he now? So then he's aboard the Heracles...
He's in the shrine, the deepest part.
What?
Wait, you... No, this is not happening. It can't
LeBlanc, haha, that's the name. My math teacher from 7th, 8th grade. Oh, nice.
What is the meaning of this? Captain Flynn, answer me! Captain Flynn!
We almost died thanks to Alexei. The only reason we're standing here now is because of your captain!
That man was a true knight.
Alexei apparently has some sort of secret plan for the Empire. And it can't be good. We're going to make sure he doesn't get the chance to carry it out. If you are any kind of knights at all, you won't stand in our way.
But how? How could it have come to this?
If we don't hurry, the Heracles is going to get away.
Let's hurry. I'll call Baul.
Yeah.
I'll save Estelle next time. I swear it. I couldn't stand seeing her hurt more than she already has been.
Rita!
It's Estelle who's suffering. So then why do I hurt so much too?
Because you're in love with her.
Yeah, we'll
Like,
see.
again,
I've had enough of
I
seeing
am
her
of the
used as
opinion
Alexa's
that
puppet.
shipping has gotten a little out of control over the last decade, but I also acknowledge it mostly boils down to the fact that people are just desperate for, you know, the LGBTQ plus crowd is just desperate for representation, and rightfully so. But I'm sorry, there is no way. I refuse to believe that Estelle and Rita's. No, I refuse to believe that Rita doesn't have romantic feelings towards Estelle. It's too coded that way, in my opinion. Yes, I know that Estelle was Rita's first real friend, but I mean, even if Estelle doesn't feel romantic feelings towards Rita, I definitely feel Rita does towards her.
Can't believe Raven was an Imperial Knight, a captain.
Captain Schwan.
And his body. I guess I didn't know a single thing about him. But he still protected us.
He'd be happy to know you were thinking that. And that's all the more reason we can't turn back now.
Right. He risked his life so we could see this through to the end. Yeah.
Let's do it! Let's save Estelle!
Yes.
We can do it. We can do it. We can do it. Me. Have you always been here? I think you have. We can do it. You won't rue it. We can make our dreams come true. Everything you've ever wanted is just waiting to be had. Actually, I think we could use a rest. But no, where's the shop? That's more why I'm here, is that I want to make sure that I replenish my orange gels. Here we go. Void the magic. Sorry, I don't remember if I've already... Oh no, we haven't. Yeah, we need to actually learn the basics of the ice coffin before I'm comfortable. Oh. I mean, that is... Excuse me. A real night sword, you say? That can be only one. Ooh, Bahamut's here. Started that they shouldn't have oh, yeah. LGBT representation is real important. Disney made a show that was canceled because it became too gay, but it was also one of their most successful shows. First time they've had since stated that it shouldn't have been canceled because they didn't realize how popular... You're talking about the Owl House, right? I think that one was Disney. Yeah, I've heard no one is happy about that being canceled. Okay. Yeah, I haven't watched it, but I have heard lots of good things about it. And yeah, it's kind of bullshit, really. Like, just, there's really no way around it. It's just kind of bullshit. That, because, like, part of the reason why the Tales series has never had an out-and-out, gay romance in it yet is the whole, what's the word I'm looking for? It's the bullshit of being like, well, if we have a gay romance in it, the game won't be family friendly anymore, or some other horse crap like that, you know? And since the Tales franchise identity is very much built on the idea that it is a RPG series made for young kids, you know, they're like, well, we can't include it because then we can't sell it to the target demographic. And someone pointed out in a previous stream that it's like, based on a lot of the fandom, you'd think that there's a lot of people in the LGBTQ plus community who are big fans of the Tales games, so why aren't they trying to appeal to them? And I'm like, well, the problem is, and this is something that we see a lot with major company, is they don't actually care who their target demographic is, or they don't really care who's consuming their media. They care more about the people that they think should be consuming their media. Joe's creator of the Owl House has since moved on, is not working on an indie animation company. It's going to make a new show with 0 restrictions. Cool. Because, like, there was a very, like, I've talked about this before, but there was a very infamous event where DC Comics sent out a poll to, like, different comic shops because they kind of wanted to, the idea was they wanted to get a feel for what their fans wanted out of comics. The thing is, though, is that there's this, I guess for lack of a better word, idea that the target demographic for comics are 12-year-old boys. And I mean, to be fair, that was a very lucrative and target audience for comics in years gone by. The problem is they're not the main people consuming comics anymore. In fact, most people nowadays who still read comic books are reading comic books because they grew up reading comic books. So, yeah. They're, again, blatantly disregarding who their actual audience is. Now, that being said, they definitely should be trying to draw in new crowds and whatnot, but the point is that there is a difference between your target demographic, the demographic you want to appeal to, versus comics is made for 12-year-old boys. Then why did they create Pink Kryptonite for real? And again, to be fair, this happened in like 2000. This poll incident happened in like 2011, 2012. So I imagine things have changed quite a bit since then. But I feel you kind of get the point I'm making. There is a big disconnect between companies and their fan base, because once again, they're going to be more concerned. A lot of companies who only care about profit are going to get hyper focused on the people that they think their product is for, if you know what I mean, rather than focus on the audience they actually have. I think like another prime example of this is with the comedian, I don't remember his name other than he's a dick. It's like Matt something. Basically, he has an audience, like he built an audience mostly on women. Women were mostly the people who listened to him at first. But then as soon as he got like his first comedy special, like the very first joke that he made was like super offensive towards women, because as he's even stated, he doesn't want women watching his content. He wants men watching his content. And yeah, so that's why he kind of did such lowbrow shit, is because he's like, okay, now that I'm famous and like my fans are bringing their boyfriends to my show, I need to get on alienating the audience I have to try and appeal to the audience I want. Now again, trying to appeal to a different audience is not in and of itself where the problem lies. Because, I mean, quite frankly, I'd say he'd be foolish for not trying to branch out and appeal to as many people as possible. The problem is again, this idea of I will only appeal to the people that who I have deemed are the people I want watching my content or whatever, you know? Yeah, there's a huge disconnect between companies and fans. Roblox CEO wants to make Roblox more about dating. That's perfect for all the kids and predators on the website. Oh, yay, predators. I say this ironically, favorite. I mean, it's kind of part of the reason why, like, because this came out around the same time as that poll fiasco. The really awful comic book called Red Hood and the Outlaws. Now, I think there may have been a couple books since then about Red Hood and the Outlaws, but I'm talking like the original Red Hood and the Outlaws, one that was launched as part of the New 52. I think it was part of the New 52. If it wasn't, I apologize. That starred Red Hood, Roy Harper, and Starfire. This comic in particular is super infamous because now if you don't know who Starfire is, admittedly she is a character who's always worn a skimpy outfit, but this was like the worst outfit ever given to her. Basically, she only had like tape over her nipples. Hell, she wears a bikini in the first issue, and I'm like, that almost covers her up more. And the original draft for the comic, the bikini was translucent. And the editor said, no, we're not printing porn. They also reduced Starfire to basically, the way she's presented is an amnesiac who only wants to have sex with men, you know? And that was done because it's like, ooh, horny 12-year-old boys will love the fact that there's a exotic hot girl who has no personality besides bonking boys, you know? So I'm like, fuck you guys.
Captain Schwan was long,
especially since at that point in time, most people who would have picked up the comic were probably 20-somethings like myself who grew up watching the Teen Titans animated series. So we probably saw, oh shit, that's a book with Starfire. I love Starfire. I want to read it, only to then be so disappointed that the Starfire in the comic does not resemble anything similar. I mean, okay, to be fair, the Teen Titans animated series took a lot of liberties with the characters' personalities, but even putting that aside,
he was rarely seen even among the knights, and it was rumored that all of his missions were top secret.
Technically, well, okay. Maybe the logistics do make a little more sense. It's just his relationship with the Dawn versus his relationship with Alexei and his loyalty to the Knights that just doesn't make sense to me.
It's probably because he was engaged in work as Raven.
So, Alexei would even sacrifice his own right-hand man.
Likely because he'd enter the final stages of his plan. Seems the old man was just looking for a place to die. Damn Alexei knew it, and used it to his advantage.
That guy's like a rotting fish.
None of that matters. Right now, we have to save Estelle. Got it?
Yeah, we gotta save your girlfriend.
Right.
Heracles was headed for the capital, right?
It's got to be crossing the ocean. Everyone, keep your eyes open wider than a deep sea fish's so we don't miss it.
Actually, I should probably save as well. Right, I can't save on the ship. Makes me wonder what you think about the currently Teen Titans. Yes, I mean Teen Titans Go. I hate Teen Titans Go. Despise it. I know it has an audience. I know it's special. Like, plenty of kids grew up with it and think it's very special. I can't stand it. Because I'm of the opinion if you wanted to make a show like Teen Titans Go, you did not need to use the Teen Titans. Because for those who don't know, the way that the characters look in Teen Titans, most of the characters were redesigned for the show. Like Robin's outfit. Dick Grayson never wore a Robin outfit that looked like that. Cyborg only looks that way in the show. Starfire, while they eventually adopted an outfit that was similar to that, her outfit looked nothing like that in the comics at the time. Raven and Beast Boy were the ones who resembled their comic counterparts the most. But the point is for the original Teen Titans animated series, those characters, those designs were made for that show. Meaning, when DC or whoever, when Warner Brothers decided to make this really immature show and make it about the Teen Titans, they deliberately went out of their way to bastardize these designs that only existed for this well-beloved show for clout. Had they, for example, say they still wanted to make a Teen Titans show, but then they used more, and heck, the fact that they brought all the voice actors back really drives that home. Say they still made Teen Titans Go, but they then based their designs more on the comic designs. There would now be a disconnect between Teen Titans Go and the original animated series. But because they used the original animated series design, they're basically saying, we don't care. We don't care who these characters were. We don't care what these characters meant to you. We just want to make money. I mean, hell, if you want to make a show like that, there are other characters in DC that would fit this mold. It's like, make a situation where like Harley Quinn, Ambush Bug, Plastic Man all team up. They break the fourth wall, like this sort of thing. Then that way you could push Plastic Man and Ambush Bug into the spotlight. Because Harley Quinn's popular enough that she could carry the show. The fact that she got her own HBO show that's very popular, and I've only seen the first 2 seasons of it because I don't have HBO Max anymore, and I was a big fan of that show. But no, they just went for the low-hanging fruit and bastardized something special. Like, it's not as... Because, like, honestly, Young Justice did a better job of carrying on the spirit of the original Teen Titans. And even then, I do have issues with Young Justice. I don't think it's perfect. I like it, but it's not perfect. So this is a cutscene I do remember from the original. It was, since Flynn didn't originally join the party, Flynn was actually here making the speech instead of Sodia. I like this change, because 1, Flynn's part of the party, and 2, it does give Sodia more to do. Because Sodia, well, she does need a little more character than what she ultimately got in the original. And this does help.
All hands to battle positions.
Sodia?
That's suicide. They're dead if they get too close to Heracles.
I can't believe they'd be stupid enough to attack it head on. Still, there's no way their fleet stands any chance against that fortress.
Well, if we can't get in from the bottom, we'll just get in from the top.
What? Wait! Let's think this over a little more!
Baul, take us up. Hold on tight or you'll be shaken off.
They're shooting at us!
Baul!
The artillery fire's erratic?
There! The rear left! It's the only area that isn't shooting!
Okay, that's the spot. Do you think he can get us there?
Teens Guy goes really weird. I don't like it, and they make a lot of references to Teen Titans and kind of intentionally make fun of Teen Titans fans. Yeah, that's another reason I hate it. It's a similar reason why I have to hate Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. I know some people have said Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts is perfectly fine if you look at it in a bubble, but because it goes out of its way to mock the original Banjo-Kazooie and people who liked it, I kind of have to hate it. Because it's taking the piss out of people who liked the original, you know?
Sorry. Alright, it's up to him.
I mean, because don't get me wrong, I don't understand people who like this game Well, okay, I can understand parts of this game that's good, but the people who swear by this game, I just don't get it. But I have actively been trying to not judge people who do seem to genuinely like this game, you know?
Man, I thought I was dead.
The Royal Guard's been taken out.
So that's why the cannon fire from this section was so weak.
Someone's here.
You never come prepared with a plan, do you? Is brute force the only strategy you know?
This is stupid. We have an airship. Airships are not common. The only reason we have an airship is because we have Baul, who's literally carrying our boat. How the fuck did LeBlanc and his guys get here before us? I'm okay with the strange design and whatever dumb jokes, but I wish it balances more on actual storytelling and trying to actually make something entertaining for kids. But also make a story. Yeah, I feel that.
That's right, I say.
Like, just as an example, all the different Sonic TV shows, all of them kind of have a different characterization for Sonic. They all have their own style, and that's okay. I don't mind that Sonic is different from, like, Sonic Prime versus Sonic Boom, because they all have their own design for the character. And yes, technically they've redesigned the characters for Teen Titans Go, but again, the actual outfits and designs of the characters, like the color palettes and whatnot, those only existed in the original Teen Titans animated series. They could have completely redesigned them, done their own completely separate designs, and I would be less critical of it.
This time, it's curtains for you.
You guys again? Don't you ever give up?
The Schwann Brigade. You still gunning for Alexei after everything that's happened?
We knights must do as our pride demands.
Come on, you guys, leave us alone.
Seriously, looking at you guys makes me remember a face that I'm trying hard to forget.
What sort of face do you mean? Must be some poor sap with a pretty ugly mug.
I think this is stupid. Look,
Raven.
I get it. They didn't want to permanently kill a character. But this is dumb. This is really dumb. How the hell did he get out of there? Just, this is so stupid. Because, like, they did make Teen Titans Go versus Teen Titans movie. It wasn't the best movie, to be honest. Yeah, that's what I've heard. How do I put this? It can be frustrating. Like, I haven't played it, but I know a lot of people say that Final Fantasy VII gets hard when you lose Aerith because she's your main summoner. There's no character in the game with skills like she does. I know in an older Tales game, there's a character named Leon who actually does die. But, and it's kind of frustrating if you invested in that character. So, from a mechanic standpoint, I appreciate that we don't lose Raven, because the fact that until Flynn was added to the game, he was the second best healer. On the other hand, take Tales Symphonia. And this is a negative in Tales Symphonia. Kratos betrays you very early in the game. And while you feel it from a narrative standpoint, you recruit Zello so quickly, who has the exact same moveset, you don't really feel the loss, if that makes sense. At least not from a mechanic standpoint. So by having Raven have that dramatic sacrifice, only for him to just show up because they don't want to take a character away, it takes away from the moment. So I don't like this a ton. Again, I can appreciate that I still have access to, because he's going right back into my party because I want that healing factor. But do you kind of get what I'm saying? Because it just doesn't, again, because it doesn't make sense how he survived. It doesn't make sense how he was able to get out. And it doesn't make sense how he was able to survive and get out and beat you here, you know? Anyway, that stupid aside, this scene is actually kind of funny.
Hey, old man!
I'm speechless.
Raven the Great, at your service.
What? So happy to see me? Cat's got your tongue? What are you doing here, old man?
Gee, glad to see you too. Reitman. Hold down the fort here. Sir! Yes, sir! There. That should do it.
Raven.
Okay, it's up to you guys from here.
How can you say that? There's no way we can trust you.
Don't try to pretend you forgot what you did, old man.
I see. Well, then do me a favor and put me down quick.
Hey! What are you trying to prove?
I didn't think I cared that much about living. But before I knew it, I was waist deep in all this. If I have to be done in by you guys here, well, there are worse ways I could go.
Now that you've turned on Alexei, your Blastia could be shut down any time, so you might as well die here. Is that what you mean?
I've been a dead man for over 10 years.
So what is a dead guy like yourself doing here anyway, Raven? You came here to settle accounts with us, didn't you? Well, brave Vesperia would be pleased to take care of that for you. Your life belongs to brave Vesperia now. From now on, whether you live or die depends on us. Right?
Kind of edgy, but that was also kind of funny.
That's perfect, Yuri. This is your punishment.
Okay, again.
Thanks, Judith, darling.
Again, this is stupid, but this is funny.
I didn't want to feel left out.
Okay, oh yeah. Okay, good. They do work Patty into this, since again she wasn't here originally.
It's joining in the fun too.
Brutality.
Raven, do you know where Alexei's hiding?
I think he's in the control room.
Let's go then.
All right.
You're not allowed to just go dying on us, Raven.
I am relieved that you're alive and well.
Oh, right. Flynn's here too.
Huh? Oh yeah. Well, I managed thanks to LeBlanc and his men. It's pathetic, really.
So it really was you all this time.
Sorry for putting you through all of that. If you want to punch me, I won't complain.
No, I was following the Commandant's orders as well.
I see. Then I guess we both owe a lot to His Excellency, the Commandant. How about we go pay him back?
Yes, I'd like that.
I like that scene. Yeah. Again, doesn't make sense. No. Is it a little frustrating? Yes, but damn it, it makes me laugh.
He lost Flynn. Now he lost you too, Raven. That's gotta hurt the strength of his precious knights.
I don't know. He's still got his own personal royal guard with him, you know.
And
Those
he's got
guys are fiercely loyal
Heracles.
to him. They'll never betray him.
You mean they still trust him? What could they possibly see in that piece of crap?
Well, Alexei wasn't a piece of crap when he got his start.
Yeah.
It was his responsibility to bring peace to the world. That's a heavy load for anyone.
That's enough. The less I know about him, the easier I'll cut him.
Now that's the Yuri I know.
Again, I do get... Well, no, I don't get it, but let's be real. That sort of mentality is something that we're seeing in the world now, if you know what I mean. It's just at the same time, the Askanu in question never was anything but a piece of shit. It's just people are stupid and bought into his bullshit. It's not clear what I'm talking about. Yeah, I can't help you.
Man, could you be any weaker?
Let's just get it over with.
Actually, so kind of going back to what I said, that I feel like Asbel from Tales of Graces was kind of meant to be a Flynn analog. There's a character in Tales of Berseria, I think his name's Oscar, who when I first saw him, I'm like, oh, hi, Flynn. And actually, ironically, there was a live streamer that I used to watch. I don't think he live streams anymore, which is a shame. He was called Burner Reborn. He live streamed Tales of Berseria. And what's kind of funny is when he saw Flynn or Oscar for the first time, he also was like, oh, hi, Flynn.
Finally accepted what happened in the grave at that cavern, but still not quite sure. What does she do from here?
I don't know what you need to do, but it's always better to look before you leap.
Oh, were you listening in, Rita?
Asking the advice of a dog isn't going to help either.
It doesn't bring me closer to a decision, but it makes me feel a little better. Why not try it yourself, Rita?
Maybe another time.
There's nothing to be ashamed of. Why would he?
You'll be gone soon enough.
I was hoping to beat Heracles today, and I still might, but I think just because of how much I've stopped just to be like, okay, I need to air out my dirty laundry, we might not. Just since, like I said, I do need to stop.
I feel like an easy win.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just pausing, so I'm like, okay, I've got to be... Oh. Yeah, sorry, I've just had a lot. I don't know, I've just been trying to, since I actually have been, I mean, okay, I know I've been consistently having weekends off for the last 3 years, but I went like almost 10 years not having weekends off. That now that I'm actually kind of trying to just enjoy life more, I've been kind of booking myself pretty full on the weekends, and that has kind of gotten in the way of streaming a bit, if you know what I mean. Excuse me. But yeah, it's like today, yeah, it's like I definitely feeling awake enough that I could keep going, but I do have other obligations.
That's right. We'll make you pay for how you made us feel.
What's that? Did you and Rita both cry over little old me?
Like I would ever.
Who's gonna cry over you? That's where maybe.
Hey, don't look at me. I wasn't crying.
Not a single tear shed for the old man. I'm simply crushed.
Anyway, we are glad that you're safe, Master Raven.
Flynn, that title isn't natural. Why so formal all of a sudden?
I know it's not normal, but now that I know he's Captain Schwan, calling him Raven just doesn't seem right anymore.
Who cares about a title? Being a knight sounds like a real pain.
Ouch.
Well, you're not wrong there, Patty. Anyway, Schwann's buried in the depths of the back of your meeting. The guy standing in front of you is Raven. Just a simple old man.
Understood. I shall endeavor to keep that fact in mind.
Now, when I first played this game 15 years ago or whatever, this is actually as far as I got before taking a short break from it. Like, I got to the Heracles, because, like, the game was already frustrating me quite a bit, but what happened is I entered the Heracles, and I really needed to get to work soon. So but I just could not find a save station, so I had to just shut it off and be like, okay, I'll load from the last save station. But when I came back after work, I realized I had forgotten to save after the boss fight with Schwan. So my save file was all the way back in the ruins, and I had to do the boss fight again. And I just didn't want to do that again at that point, so I'm like, I'll come back to this later. So, ironically enough, my memory of the game actually does dip off after this point. Like, I legitimately, like, I remember plot points. Like, there are plot points I do definitely remember. But what actually happens in the order it happens in, I don't really remember that well, you know? Because I know there's a thing with spirits. I know there's a thing, like, with the final boss. I know there's, like, Carol's final big character arc and his reckoning with the hunting blades, but the finer details, I honestly, it's something of a loss after this. I mean, not that I remember the finer details of this game before that, but still.
All that for his personal use? That's some serious abuse of authority.
In any case, we have things to do before we can start worrying about that, right?
Right.
I'm gonna go a little crazy here.
Excuse me. Okay, I love the leaves just sticking off Raven's bow. They're just wonderfully distracting enough, you know.
Let's go. Get ready. I'm taking you down. We're done. Yeah.
Finish that one.
So, what do you think about Yuri, Flynn?
He's a true friend.
Even now?
Absolutely.
I see.
Is there something you want to ask?
Nah, that's enough. Sorry to trouble you.
He's really something. He points out Yuri's mistakes, but still calls him a friend.
I'd argue that's what friends are supposed to do.
Birds of a feather. Ah, that does make sense. Flynn is Yuri's friend after all.
Okay. You know, I say that now I was probably awake enough to keep going. Now I'm starting to feel my insomnia, so once we find a save station, that's probably going to be it for today. So I gotta get ready for the day.
We're done.
Oh, another thing to power up the sorcerer's ring, I think.
Huh? Is this air?
It appears so. Air is flowing through this pipe.
Ain't it dangerous getting so close to it?
This air isn't very thick. It's safe.
But why is air flowing through the Heracles?
It seems that air is what's making this giant contraption work.
It's being supplied with air without the need for air crane. Wow.
The construction of the Heracles was kept top secret, so I don't know the details of how it works.
Even yours truly hasn't heard anything about the construction. Because I wasn't interested.
Oh, man,
Okay.
you're totally useless when we really need you.
He did kind of get us out of the ruins, so not
The
totally.
sorcerer's ring is glowing.
I saw it do the same thing back in Gasparos.
Yeah, we were together when that happened.
Let me see that.
I've always wanted to hold hands with you, Rita.
Aw, that's not fair.
It's being affected by the air. The interior geometry is changing. Try pointing it at this gate.
Really seems a lot more powerful than it was before. Are you sure that's okay?
If it can destroy everything it shoots, that would definitely be dangerous.
That was a reaction between the air inside the gate and the air that the ring shot. It won't destroy anything and everything. You can relax.
Let's use the sorcerer's ring to destroy that gate too.
Sweet.
This ring just keeps getting new abilities.
It got a new one back in Gosparos, didn't it?
Back then it was just you and me, Yuri. I'd love to study it when I get a chance, but I guess now isn't the time.
Well, at least this means we can go to new places now. That's good, right?
Raven's right. We should go around shooting stuff and look for new places we can get into.
Yeah, it's hard to tell whether something will react to the ring or not just by looking at it.
I don't know how I feel about just going around and shooting everything we can. I like it. It's the manly way to do things.
You like it? Wow! Maybe if I shoot here! How about here? Yeah! I did it! It opened! It opened!
Good for you. Nice. Breaking and entering for the win.
Get ready. I'm taking you down.
That felt good. Nice, good stretch.
I'm just getting started.
Again, excuse me. You know, I just realized. I have these. So I'm going to use them for a bit. So in the old Tales games, the holy bottles, the older Tales games that ran on random battles, the holy bottles just stopped enemies from spawning. But since in the newer Tales games the enemies show up on the map, it just makes it so you can't to get into conflicts with them.
Watch out, Raven!
Ooh, that was a close one. Thank you kindly, Carol.
Stop dancing around like that. You gotta walk carefully in a place like this.
Is Raven always like that? Yeah, I'd say he's always like that. Why do you ask?
Well, there's the old man as Raven, and the old man as Captain Schwan. I just wonder which is the real one. That's all.
I'm sure that his actions as Schwan left a much bigger impression on you.
Anyway, you really didn't know that Raven was Schwan this whole time?
I sensed something odd when we first met, but I couldn't equate his personality as Raven with that of Captain Schwan's.
He seemed like a goof-off, you mean?
Who are you calling a goof-off? Kids these days. Whispering nonsense behind an old man's back.
Well, Raven or Schwan, he's still an old man. It's not anything to get worked up over.
Perhaps so.
Okay, okay. Right, doors this way. Okay. Ah, okay. And then this is an elevator? No? What did it do for me? Did that do anything for me? I see ghosts and specters gather. Fuck.
I guess I can fight. Brilliant! Brilliant!
Blade of noble light, overpower even indestructible evil.
Oh, caprice of innocent waters!
That's over.
Well, actually, maybe I can use this to force that door open up here. Maybe that's what I'm supposed to do. Nope. Okay, maybe I'm missing something then. Oh, how did I miss this? I see ghosts and specters gather round me. One by one. Wait, hold on. Maybe there's something up here I can drop. There is not something up here I can drop. Stairs were right there. I feel stupid. Let's actually go back. I don't think.
There are quite a few of the Royal Guard there.
That sure is some heavy security.
It doesn't look like it'll be too easy to stop it.
It'll be impossible to force our way inside with that many guards. What?
Since when are you so level-headed?
I thought you were going to throw a big fireball and make it go boom!
We've come this far. Don't you think we should be careful not to mess things up?
I think that if we can stop the Heracles, Sodia and her men will be able to get on board.
No matter how big the fish, it'll calm down once you hit it in the head.
Yep, let's search the control room.
Raven, do you know where the control room is?
Sorry, that's one thing I don't know.
What if the control room's even more heavily guarded?
In that case, we'll have no choice but to force our way in.
That'd be a war between 7 people, 1 dog, and the entire Royal Guard.
Sounds
like
fun.
A lot of trouble.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that.
So yeah, we're gonna go back through because I don't think I was done in this area. I just kind of assumed that going down would be the way forward, you know.
I guess I can fight. That's over.
Okay. Sorry. Ugh, choking on my own spit. There, wait, now, I think there's a chest down here that might be not much else. Thank you. I see ghosts and specters gather round me. Okay, just chests down here. Okay with that. Right. Oh no, I'm getting mugged.
We'll destroy them in no time. Priest of innocent waters. A blade of noble light. Overpower even indestructible evil. Grant them thy undefiled purity. Disturbing powers unleashed. Meet thy judgment upon the evil before me. Din of this modest land. Incandescent rose.
Oh, you poor thing.
This didn't take me back. No, this is a new treasure, please. Thank you. Can I actually do we? Yeah, Flynn. Dark Crystal is a good but underrated movie. So much imagination. Damn it.
Let's eliminate them.
Destroy! Destroy!
Oh, beating of the earth. Sacrifice thy body to crush my enemies. Oh, caprice of innocent waters. Show me. Oh, beating of the earth. Sacrifice thy body to crush my enemies. Smile of wavering darkness. Grant them thy undefiled purity. Purity. I'm using this. Oh, incandescent.
Concentrate our efforts.
Ha, suck it, bitch. Sorry. Just got a text from my dad. Fuck, there's a save station on the other side of these barriers. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that just opened up a shortcut back, even though it's like, it's not like there's like a save station or a rest station back that way, so...
Flynn, I wanted to ask you about something Yuri said back in Nordopolica.
Huh? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about how Yuri said that he'd kill you if you became a bad person.
Well, that's...
For example, if you became someone that Yuri thought needed to be killed, do you think he'd swing his blade without hesitation, even if he was facing a precious friend like you?
Yuri isn't the kind of person who can so easily kill others.
Is he?
But if he felt he really needed to, I imagine he'd even kill me.
Really? Do you think he could actually do that?
There was sadness in his eyes, but he was unwavering.
And it's true. But that kind of determination must...
Even if it's going to deeply hurt him, I believe he's determined to live the rest of his life with that pain. Yuri possesses just that kind of strength.
You think so?
But if Yuri is going to continue committing crime after crime, then I will have to stop him myself. I earnestly hope that day never comes, though.
Flynn, you're really strong too.
Yeah.
Am I? I don't know.
Determined to live the rest of his life with that pain.
Sorry, I don't remember if I went over here or not. Yeah, that's the shortcut back. Arms are randomly getting really itchy. Oh, it's still... No, it's not still active. Let's see. Oh, yeah, hold on. Okay, got it. Okay, just have one more to bust. Though, because I'm pretty sure I need to lift up that block and then drop it on that. I don't know how to do that. Maybe if that's switched off, I can now access... Maybe that'll work now? That's the best guess I've got. And that would explain why there was a shortcut back this way. Again, if that is indeed... No, but no, that one's still running. But, wait, not... It's still locked. Come on, I just need to destroy that last one so I can get to the save station. Take you out.
Fight like I'm gonna die, huh?
Kaloo Kalay. Okay, cool. What benefit would it give me putting it at the ground floor? Just seeing, I don't, yeah, whatever. Don't matter. Don't matter. Okay. Alright, now we can go save. Yeah, that is one thing that I do admit. I will always take some issues with the Tales games is the use of save stations. I know that it's an old, mechanic. I know that it's something that the Tales series has used for, uh-oh. Okay, no, the stream didn't crash, but it is a dated mechanic that I am not the biggest fan of anymore. Anyway, thank you all for joining me. There'll be an Edgelord stream tomorrow morning. Yeah. Abby should be able to stream next week again, no problem. But yeah, not sure when, but we'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.